Right, greetings everybody. Welcome to another video. Welcome to a kind of little bit of a special video because I've changed my setup. I've done some organization. My desk is now much cleaner and the camera is higher. The microphone is up and out of the way, and I think that this will probably lead to better settings for in terms of my, just video recording and everything, and me just being generally a little bit happier. So this video is a little bit of repetition, but I want to talk a little bit just about the last week of experiences that I've had, and also just about like Final Fantasy IX again, because I really want to hammer this point home about what I think of Final Fantasy IX. So yes, this video is a little bit selfish in the sense that I am making it for a little bit of a rush reason, but since it's still probably a day or two before news, I'm kind of need a little bit of content. So excuse me, gotta monetize. All right, so let's talk about the last week here. This is a little bit of preamble. You can skip it if you want, but I think it's really actually super comparable. So let's take a look first at what has been happening in the last week. Well, the Final Fantasy Magic TCG set has gone up for pre-order. I'm not talking about, by the way, just for reference sake, because it's within arm's reach, I'm not talking about the Final Fantasy TCG sets, which is a Square Enix product. And, oh, hold on, wait a second here. I mean, it's Hobby Japan, but it is, I think, just, basically looked after by Square Enix. I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about Magic the Gathering, which will be doing a set this year where they're going to get a bunch of artists to do like new Final Fantasy work, and every single Final Fantasy, or at least all the numbered Final Fantasies. I'd be surprised if there wasn't like Tactics too. But all of those are going to be represented in a card set that can be played in Magic the Gathering, and it's going to be a hell of a collector's item. The other thing that happened last week was the launch of the RTX 5070 Ti, which if you've been on my live streams or watched the thing in my live stream, you know that I am in the market right now for a GPU. And if you are in the market for a GPU, you probably know that it is absolute shit experience right now. So the RTX 50 Ti kind of had their launch this week. Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy series had its pre-orders go up over like the last week and a half-ish. And the other thing is the Final Fantasy IX collaboration, which has gone up over the last week and a half. And so it's funny. You might look at these three things and say, what do they have in common? Well, the thing that they have in common, dear viewer, is that they're all fucking terrible launches, and kind of just sad that all of them have been the way that they have been. So yeah, really quickly, because this is not, a computer graphics channel or like a PC component channel or like that. But starting off with the RTX 5070 Ti, I mean, there's problems with it and the 5090 where they are missing part of the components. Basically, what was advertised is not being sold. And NVIDIA says that it is, a problem that has happened that they have fixed. But a lot of people are surmising that basically it's either incompetence or it was a really shit job. And it was actually malicious, in which case that's way worse. You may really want to think about ever getting a NVIDIA GPU again. That's just my opinion, but it kind of does look that way based on the company's trajectory. And basically, I mean, there's no stock, bad product, and charging higher than MSRP, which has just been, not good. It's not good, basically. And so that is essentially what happened there. As for the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering, I mean, the pre-orders went up and were immediately bought and started to be scalped at incredibly high prices. If you tried most websites, I feel like you had a similar experience where basically they disappeared incredibly fast. You had to be right there, and hopefully you did get it right away. But more than likely, as with the graphics cards, there wasn't much stock, it seems. And to be fair, it is a pre-order. I'm sure that there will be maybe stock that you can go into store and just grab on launch day if you want to camp outside. That's the way the modern world is. And so the basically I tried, it was miserable. It was hard to find websites that did have it. The Square Enix site, at least to their credit, did put some limits on it, but still had the same issue. And now you can go on, and once again, connecting back to the other thing we were talking about, you can get one of those collector packs, like the boxes of the collector packs, because, and I'll do a video about this, but there's like the collector packs and then there's the playing card packs. The collector packs are already like $500 for a box or something stupid like that. I mean, maybe 400 American. I don't know what's going on. But the collector's box, you can almost buy one of those boxes being scalped for the price of a GPU. So there you go, tied in connection back. So, I mean, I have had like a rough week and a half of being interested in things that you just can't get anymore. And I mean, I could digress and make this video just all about how the modern world just really sucks. There's just so many people looking to do bad and just profiteer off of other people's enjoyment, and all of that is awful, because I thought we were kind of past that to a certain point, but apparently we aren't. So it just feels fucking terrible and all that. And I mean, you could just go on and on about that. But the other thing connecting back to is just the Final Fantasy IX thing, and I guess the bad things come in threes is really prophetic, or, you know, I don't even know if prophetic is the right word here, but it feels very appropriate for what has been kind of that thing, because it's just been like the GPU launch sucked, the Final Fantasy ECG pre-orders sucked, and can't really enjoy either of those things for a multitude of reasons. But now, you know, the FF9 collaboration feels like it is kind of in that same vein at this point of, you know, just put it out there, make whatever money we can, don't give a shit if people get screwed over or have a bad experience or anything like that. It just doesn't fucking matter anymore. Because in the previous video, I talked about how old characters really deserve better than what it is. I mean, you can't be angry at Kuja coming out and being strong. As a matter of fact, I think that's a great thing. I'm happy that, you know, he is pretty awesome and fun if you do get him and you can raise him, kind of thing. You're gonna, he is a lot of fun to use and enjoy in Wotv. So that's great. That actually is a net positive thing. But the thing that isn't great is just how bad the old characters have been treated, like all of that. And I have to feel like that this was planned to some extent, because Kuja, a new character being good isn't really that good, but I feel like whenever these collaborations happen, again, you always have the kind of like the people who upgrade old characters and use old characters in Arena for that week for bonuses and everything. And also for like testing purposes, like last week there wasn't any bonuses, so you didn't necessarily want to do it. And you might have just forgot that this week is the Grand Arena, which has SSR only, which means that you can't use VV anywhere in here for this. And Limited Guild War is definitely not the time to be testing any of those old characters in any shape or form. And yeah, I mean, like FF9 kind of came out. It's great for people who have spent or who can spend the money, who can buy the new thing and enjoy it. And, you know, it has some problems, but it mostly works. Chances are you got a pretty good one. Maybe if you were, you know, doing that gacha, you were not doing really, really well in there. Maybe you got a little bit screwed on the bad odds, but eventually, you know, there's a pity and a guarantee, some kind of warranty that if you did get it, you get eventually get a working product. And then you know, for the people with all the old stuff and just don't have the money to necessarily do this, I mean, they're just fucked, and you're just, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, like if they get some people who just start playing because they like FF9, they can profiteer on them by saying, hey, yo, you want BB? You want to get BB? Well, and it just turns out he's just not that good. It doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, this is apparently the way that February 2025 has just gone, in that you know, all three of these things just feel very, very similar in a lot of different, or in a lot of ways, where it's just not that great of products being pushed out into subpar weeks, into experiences that the company either planned to have this way, and you know, they just look at us and they say, well, I mean, what you gonna do? And I don't know. Not spend money on it. But in the case of Wotv, that probably hurts more. But anyway, that's all for this video. Later.